Hey artists, welcome back to another episode of Art at Home. And today we're going to build off of what we were learning last week with drawing exercises. But we're going to have a little bit more fun with it this week through the art of Zentangles. Now, this fun technique is basically just advanced doodling. But what do I mean by doodling? Well, doodling is something you might do in the corner of your notebooks while you're in class, just drawing tiny little patterns or designs. They're basically just repeating shapes and lines to create interesting looking works of art. And these are meant to be very relaxing and meditative. This week's activity is so fun and relaxing, you should invite your parents to try it too. Alright, let's get started. There are many Zentangle patterns that you can easily find online. I've provided a few on my website. Now, they can get kind of intimidating, but you can break it down to three main types. First, there's a grid, kind of like a tic-tac-toe board. Then, fill in each of the squares with different patterns or designs based on the patterns that you see. The second main type are stripes or strips. Just draw some vertical or horizontal lines, and then you fill in the spaces in between with different designs. For this one, I did some curved lines, and then I filled in the empty space with some straight lines. This last one, I did an S, kind of like a snake wavy line, and then I filled in the spaces in between. A lot of this is being creative with how you fill in the empty spaces. Like this last one. I just drew a simple design and I'm filling in all the spaces in between with different patterns. Whether it's tiny little circles, curved lines, straight lines, crisscrossing lines. Take a look at some of the patterns I have on my website and see if you can figure out how they did each design. You don't just have to use straight lines for your grids or your stripes either. You can do them with wavy, zigzag, be creative. Now that we've covered some of the Zentangle patterns, let's do a project example. For mine, I just did something really simple. I did 4 dots, and then I connected each of those 4 dots to make a box. I then divided that box with wavy lines, and now I'm filling in each of those sections that I created with different designs. This first one I am filling in with a grid-based design. The second one I'm doing with a stripe design. But they don't have to be totally abstract. You can draw pictures inside, you can do your initials inside, and then fill in all those different areas with different kinds of patterns. Let's look at one of my examples in my sketchbook from start to finish. There is no right or wrong way of doing a Zentangle. If you want to go outside your lines, go outside the lines you drew. If you want to color in some areas, color them in. And finally, don't forget to add some color or shading to your Zentangle. It can really make your picture stand out. There are lots of different ways you can do a Zentangle. Find an object you can trace. Draw a heart. Don't forget to add color. You can draw landscapes, trace your hand and fill it in, be completely abstract with it, or go for something really realistic. Just takes a simple drawing, and then the hard part is filling it in with all those different patterns. I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson. I can't wait to see what you make.